Good job. Good afternoon. Welcome back to Senate Education, 2:21 p.m. on Thursday, May 4th. We have one last bit of business to do today, and that is an amendment to H-165 being presented by Senator Williams. It is in your folder. And Senator Williams, do you want to mention anything before we turn over to Ledge Council? To have Ledge Council just walk us through what it would do.
Well, I want to just explain why I did.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because,
Yeah, go ahead.
As we went through this testimony, we talked about things we couldn't do as far as students that could pay because of stigmatizing the ones that couldn't afford to pay. And then I found out that school meals, what's the term? Universal school meals aren't universal. Because the students that are already enrolled in the independent schools they're not getting paid for it. If they have school meals, they're being fed because the school chooses to do that. So what I'm saying is in this amendment is that universal school meals are not universal because it doesn't affect the students that are enrolled in the independent schools. So they pay. The only people that get free school meals at those institutions are the ones that are tuitioned. So I've asked the same James that worked with me to draft this amendment. You want me to read it?
No, we'll have Ms. Jane, if it's okay with you. That's not
and the stigma issue doesn't hold water. Because what about those students that could be potentially stigmatized that have to pay for their meals at the independent school? That's all I got to say.
Thanks, Senator Williams.
Now we're better prepared tomorrow.
No, that was helpful.
Yeah.
That's all we really need was an overview. What motivated you.
Okay.
Now we can have Ledge Council and committee. Just so you know the process. What we'll do is I'll give people a little time this afternoon. I can come around and just take a vote individually, give some thought to it. You don't need to do it right now, right this moment. Just give everyone a little time to think about it. We can gather tomorrow before we meet on the floor or something like that. So.
That's St. James Office of Legislative Counsel. So this is an multiple individuals. This is an amendment to H-165 as passed by the House. So as Senator Williams stated, what this amendment does, and I'll talk a little bit more technically, but what this amendment does is it strikes the part of the Universal Meals Supplement funding section related to independent schools, which had all of the provisions for publicly tuitioned. Strikes that section entirely and replaces it with this language, so subsection C. And this language would allow for if an approved independent school, so just approved independent schools, if they run a federal meals program, so they already have to have, they have to participate in the federal meals program, then all of their students will qualify for the universal meals supplement.
Including the privately.
Correct.
Wow, okay. Sorry, I wasn't understanding that. Got it, thank you.
So right now, as the bill is written, tell us how independent schools are handled.
So it starts the same. In order to qualify, so the bill as written, H-165 is passed by the House, requires all public schools
Yes.
to participate in the federal meals
Yes.
program. There's no get out of jail free card,
Right.
and all public students pre-K through 12, you get the universal meals supplement. For approved independent schools, we don't require, the bill does not require them to participate in the federal meals program. What it says is if you do participate in the federal meals program, then your publicly tuitioned students will qualify for the universal meals supplement.
Right. If you participate, then just those students.
Yes.
Okay.
This amendment, same qualification for independent school, approved independent schools. You have to be participating in the federal meals program. But instead of just the publicly tuition students would be eligible for universal meals, it would be all students at the school would be eligible for the universal meal supplement, just like a public school.
Yeah, please.
So if you have an Italian student, a student who's attending your school from Italy, who's from a family who's a multi-million-dollar family, we, the state of Vermont, will be paying for that kid's lunch. Is that what's happening? Is that what, I'm just asking, hypothetical.
Anybody that goes
Okay.
to that school.
Okay, gotcha.
And this hasn't been through appropriation.
Right.
But I just wanted to do it on the floor.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to make, because like fiscal responsibility is this, okay.
But it's what's fair. If it's fair if they participate and they're required to participate, their students should be getting paid too for their meals.
Well, I mean, if this is a concern, why don't we change the title of the bill to public universal school meals and get rid of the option for private schools to participate at all?
Are you making?
I think that would be, I mean, it would save money. And it also seems like we're the only state that is creating the option for private schools to get this benefit. So
In Senator Hashim, you're referencing,
as far as, yes,
yes,
I'm referring.
if everyone has it in their folders. H-165 statement from Hunger Free Vermont. I asked, knowing that this was coming, I asked them just to respond to it so that they could add something.
Very thoughts on that.
Oh, I mean, changing the title. I personally would rather not get into changing the title of the bill on the floor, but personally, I'd rather just deal with the amendment as another down personally.
I don't know how many major muscle movements have involved for sure. But
Oh, I would support you if you're making a motion on that. I would vehemently oppose your amendment. I apologize, but I do know that we have a lot of very wealthy students from out the country who attend some of our independent schools, and I do not want to pay for their lunch. Sorry, no. I mean, yes, and then no.
I think one of the things that we will run into in appropriations is make a sense this while you're down there. Although they endorsed universal meals, I think the committee is somewhat divided. I would be very surprised if appropriations gave us approval to expand the cost in the state, I'll be honest with you. Given what some of the conversation that we heard today. So I think, frankly, what we'll get if we play our cards right is the universal meals bill as it is. Recognizing, the title could always change. Generally, that just is a tricky thing to do on the floor. You know what I mean?
I'm not,
Yeah.
You're
A little tongue in cheek,
Yeah.
little like give Campy a hard time at the end. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Get the blood pressure, which is, and the medicine. The strong. But yes, so I think we would have a very hard time with appropriations, I'll be honest. But I think we should talk to appropriations. I don't think, doesn't sound like the committee is going to advance this, but we can certainly have the committee appropriations look at it as well.
well, I wasn't going to even try to advance it through committee. I was just going to put it on the floor.
Right, so what'll
Have a
happen,
reaction.
yeah, no, I appreciate that. And just so you know the process, what'll happen tomorrow is you'll explain the amendment. And Senator Hashim is the main presenter. He will likely get up and say that the committee does not support this amendment. And it's possible that we'll have the Appropriations Committee also get up and say that they would not support the amendment. But to your point, anything can happen on the floor. Yeah, and it's listen, we always want people to bring amendments and ideas forward. But after the conversation that happened in the hall today, that I know Senator Hashim was a little bit a part of as well, I don't think well, at least on the sidelines a little bit with the appropriations reaction to the universal school meals in general. This is not, I think we'll be in good shape if we can move this program forward as written this year, my two. Okay. All right. Anything else? Thank you, Ms. St. Jacobs. Thank you, Senator Williams.
You'll get some emails from me, but yes.
Good luck
I
down
got
there.
90% of it.
It's gonna be a slam dunk.
Okay.
Thanks, Terry.
You know how it goes.
Okay, everyone, I think we're good for today.